I've been playing Rise of Kingdoms for a little bit over a month now, and I felt like it was a good time to make a video kind of sharing some of the new player tips that I have learned. That way, any other new players that are starting this game can have the best possible early Rise of Kingdoms experience. Let's get into it. All right, guys, this is by no means an exhaustive list of every single tip that you could possibly know as a new player, but it's just a few things that I think are particularly important in getting the most value out of this game. So tip number one is find a jumper group. So much of this game revolves around your community and your alliance. You can get so much benefit from having a good alliance. There are alliance-wide events to do. You can kill forts together. Anytime an alliance member makes a purchase, you can get extra little goodies for yourself. Just so much of this game revolves around that core group of your alliance. And if you don't have an alliance, you're really going to be missing out on a lot of content. And hey, at the end of the day, when you get into these big KVK style and Ark of Osiris fights, guess what? You'll be doing them as an alliance. All right, tip number two is watch YouTube videos. And maybe that's a silly tip to put in a YouTube video because if you're watching this, then obviously you're doing that part. But more to the point is this game is quite complicated. It's actually deceptively complicated and is going to require some research. So you're going to want to watch guide videos. You're going to want to look at the various websites and all the different community discords to find guides on how to most efficiently kill barbarians, star up your commanders, spend your talent points, all those kinds of things. Doing little min-max type optimizations in the early game can pay you dividends over the course of your entire account's life, which in this game could be a very long time. Tip number three is that you're going to want to try and participate in every single event. This game is chock full of events, and it's one of my favorite things about this game. There's always something new going on when you log in, some new little event that you can work towards and get extra goodies. So for example, on my server right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 events going on. I'll click through a couple of them. And this is just an extra way of getting extra stuff to progress your account. Everything is going to add up over time. You need a ton of resources, a ton of speed ups, a ton of boosts in this game. So make sure you're participating in all of these events and gathering as many extra goodies for your account as possible. Tip number four is you're going to want to be constantly farming resources anytime you're not burning your action points, killing barbarians, rallying forts, or doing whatever else you want to do with those action points. You need so many resources in this game. It's actually kind of still shocking to me. So for example, if I was going to go from City Hall 21 to 22, keep in mind this isn't even to 25 yet, I need somewhere in the vicinity of 60 million resources in order to do that. So make sure that like when you're asleep, when you're eating lunch, when you're just away from the game, that you have all of your marches out gathering as many resources as possible constantly. You're going to need them eventually. And a little side tip to that that's not really in the realm of this video is if you have the time to make some farm accounts, they will pay you dividends in the long run. They're not that much to keep up with, and there are ways, I'll just say ways of obtaining some accounts without you necessarily having to do all of the upfront work of getting that farm account to the point of being able to pay for itself. Just leave it at that for now because I don't want to encourage any bad behavior, so to speak. Speaking of action points, make sure that you use all of your action points constantly. This is kind of the bottleneck when it comes to leveling up your commanders. I mean, farming barbarians gives all kinds of goodies anyways. Rallying forts gives even more goodies. Make sure that you burn these action points every day. You really don't want to be action point capped and having them quote unquote rot, because anytime that you're capped on your action points, that's potential value that you are losing for your account. And keep in mind, I didn't realize this when I was brand new to the game, you get a daily action point recovery potion. It's 500 extra action points per day whenever the server resets that you can take advantage of. Just do some quick math. Let's say you do that every single day for a week. That's 3,500 extra action points that you can gain. That's a lot of extra action points, seeing as how they cap at 1,500 at any one time. And the final tip for this video, like I said, this is by no means an exhaustive list of tips, but just some things that I thought were important. This is maybe the most important tip in the video, although I guess I'm still pretty new, so maybe I can't say definitely the most important. But these gold heads, aka legendary commander sculptures, do not spend them until you know for sure which legendary commanders you want to invest in for your big KVK, Ark of Osiris, whatever type of big fighting content that you want to participate in. Make sure you do your research, figure out which commanders you want to invest these in, because unless you're paying a whole lot of money, these things are going to be your biggest bottleneck when it comes to leveling up your commander's skills. That takes something in the realm of like 650 to expertise one legendary commander. I probably should have looked up the actual exact amount before recording this video. It's somewhere in there. It's a lot. You're going to need a ton of them. So you really do not want to be wasting these things on commanders that you aren't going to be using in the long run. Think of it this way. The final food for thought that I'll leave you as far as this video goes is anything that you invest into a commander that you aren't going to be using is effectively a waste. Whereas anything that you invest in a commander that you're definitely going to be using, that's a good investment. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.